There they got a gentleman arrested, the founder of the Telegram platform, social media platform. They got him arrested. They are not trying to go after Durov. I think his name is Pavel Durov. No, they're not after Telegram and Pavel Durov. They're after X and Elon Musk.
Hello and welcome. This video is being recorded just a few hours after Pastor Chris Oyakhilome made some very bold lines of statements about the rising concern of freedom of speech in our world today, revealing how the globalist movement is planning to come after Elon Musk's X platform, formerly known as Twitter, as it is the only online platform that still allows freedom of speech in the world today. And it calls on everyone out there to stand against such a move, so that we will still have freedom of speech in our world. If you recall, Pastor Chris had been tough on world leaders since COVID-19 lockdown in 2020. And here he is again, kicking against their evil agenda against mankind. Let's see what he has to say.
There's a policy of the prevention of a Trump win. Why should there be a prevention? When you start thinking like this, you ought to know Satan has gone into your head. The devil has entered into your head. No American, except those barred by the law, according to the Constitution. So it's not you preventing them, it is the Constitution preventing them. Here's where we have to understand, they've been drumming it in our heads all our life long about democracy. But democracy is a smokescreen. Because they tell us we should be a democratic country. But in reality, the United States and most countries are constitutional republics. And that's a different definition from a democracy. Now, the simple definition of a democracy is the government of the majority. That's the idea. It's a government of the majority. But when you look at it more closely, it is the dictatorship of the majority, which means the majority handpick their leaders, and their leaders are supposed to do what the majority says. So the minority has no voice. So there again is totalitarianism by the majority. But that's not what you want. Remember, the majority crucified Jesus. They called for his death. Were they right? No, they were wrong. They made claims that were wrong. So when we say the majority is always right, the majority is not, the voice of the people is the voice of God. That's not true. This in the case of Jesus wasn't true. They were wrong. And you read through the Bible, most of the time the majority was wrong. And that's why the founding fathers of the United States had the wisdom to have a two-way system for the elections. They said they have the majority and then they have the electoral college. Why? Because it's not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. So the Constitution, which they have agreed to, protects the majority and the minority and protects individual liberties and prevents tyranny. That's what's good about a constitutional republic, as different from this song of democracy that you keep hearing, because they don't want you to think of the constitutional republic. Why? Because they want the Constitution abrogated. I told you before, when you hear these people say the rule of law, they're not talking about the Constitution. They mean the rule by themselves. You're supposed to be afraid of them. And that's why they hate free speech. And here's a war against free speech today, and I really want to take this very seriously. And I want God's people everywhere to take this very, very seriously. We came out of dictatorships of yesteryears by the sweat, tears, and blood of many. How can we allow ourselves go back to those tyrannies? That's what Satan wants to bring upon the nations one more time. And we should be able to have a complete no. Somebody asked a question, is hate speech supposed to be free speech? The answer is yes. Because you should be free to say whatever you want to say. It doesn't mean that what you say is going to be right. Even the devil, when he appeared to Jesus and tempted Jesus and quoted scripture wrongly and misapplied the scripture, tempting Jesus, the Bible doesn't say that Jesus went after him to try to destroy him and fight him. No, Jesus replied also with words. So if someone is uttering what you call hate speech, that's why we have courts. Go to the court. Take him to court. We already have systems and structures that were already taking care of whatever kind of speech. So new laws against hate speech was all deception. It's subterfuge. The deception. Because they wanted to come in and stop free speech. And why do they want to stop free speech? Because they want only their narrative to be heard. Why is that? Because they have a satanic agenda, and we must say no. I hear what's happening in the United Kingdom right now, where Keir Starmer, the new prime minister, instead of taking a stand against the wicked law that was enacted, I think just a couple of years ago, against online posts, has used that opportunity to go after those they don't like what they're saying. It's absolute nonsense. And it should be resisted. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. We cannot and we will not go back to totalitarianism, barbaric oppression. We cannot accept it. And those in the UK, you must rise in prayer. I'm going to show you how to pray about this. You must pray against this. You must take a stand against it. Don't accept it because it's something, it's declension that you don't want. And then there's Brazil. And then there's France. In fact, the one of France is even laughable. Because why is it that's laughable? It's actually more serious than the others. I'll tell you why. There they got a gentleman arrested. The founder of the Telegram platform, social media platform. They got him arrested. They are not trying to go after Durov. I think his name is Pavel Durov. No, they're not after Telegram and Pavel Durov. They're after X and Elon Musk. That's what it's about. So what they're just trying to do is to get a conviction for the purpose of using it against X and Elon Musk. They're just going around. They're just going around. Deception. because they don't want, X right now is the only platform in the world where you can actually say what you want without some people thinking that they've got power. They're wiser than you, and they're going to decide what you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed to say. I mean, we've got King's Chat, for example, but you're not allowed to say whatever you want to say on King's Chat. So it's not free for everybody. You can't, it's not open to say whatever you like to say. So King's Chat is not for free speech. You can say some things on King's Chat and they're going to take you out. That's for sure. But the only platform in the world for free speech. So that's the champion. I would say is the last bastion of free speech in the world. And they want to stop it. They should not be allowed to stop it. They should not be allowed to stop it. And the foolishness in Brazil right now should be stopped. We cannot allow a few people to decide that they know how we should live. All they have to remember is history. There have been dictators like them before. They may have gone on for long, but not forever. Their day came. And the day will come for today's practicing dictators. The day will come. God created man in his image. Man has to be a free moral being. Otherwise, he's less than a man. He's less than human. Words are the most important things in the world. You must not gag him. Man's personality is destroyed, whose words are forbidden. They let him speak. Only when he speaks can you know his person. Only when he speaks can you meet his person. So you let him speak. Good or evil, you let him speak. Free speech is not only free when we like it. It's free when we can accommodate someone who says something we don't like. And that's why we have to support the X platform, used to be known as Twitter. We have to support that. We cannot allow what they're trying to do now continue. It must not be. They cannot be the police of the world on their own terms. And I'm very happy about something, which is the message of this month. I'm very, very excited about it because the Lord knows what's going on in our world and he guides us in what to do. It's amazing how he gets his message across to us. Last month was the month of great grace. And listen, when he gives you a message for the month, it doesn't end with the month. I told you before, all of those blessings you take along with you into the new month. Never leave the blessings of the past month behind. Take them with you. So we're continuing with our great grace, which we got in the month of August, right into the month of September.
All right. right, you've heard that. Let's support the X platform for freedom of speech in our world. If you've not subscribed, kindly do so and turn on your notification bell to stay updated with us. See you on our next upload.